Busy season is just starting to heat up, but I still want to make videos. I've got to do it like this. I've decided this has got to be the protocol. I run and grab the camera. No, wait, first I comb my hair, and then I run and grab the camera, and then I just start. And I've just finished a job. I'm at Carlisle Crossing in Alexandria, Virginia. Painted a bunch of signs. Here's one. And the last one that I had, this was designed by Younts Design in Baltimore, Maryland. And the last job that I did for them, I forgot to take finished photos. But I decided on this one, I'm going to take some pictures, I'm going to shoot a video, all at the same time. This is the one that I began with. And man, I tell you what, it was like winter time when I started this one. We had such a cold winter, it really threw me off. I've painted even really pretty big murals in like all 12 months of the year. And that's what I always tell my clients, People would contact me, they'd email me, like, say I would get an email just before Christmas. I needed to have something to tell potential clients, and I would say, I have painted really big murals in all 12 months of the year. And that's the truth. I never lie to my clients. But this year was just different. The winter was so cold and rainy and snowy. Okay, here's another one that I did. Let's take the finished photograph. Maybe I should back up. Anything else over there? No, nothing over there. Then there was just a couple of columns. Putting so much effort into my videos might have been one of the reasons why this took so long. So that's why I'm also trying to innovate, come up with a way of doing videos that doesn't take me a lot of time. Should I get fancy with this one? Where should I start? I should squeeze by here. I did a couple of short videos about these wraparound graphics. I just think there's something else. The way that this funny chevron zigzag shape comes around the column, I love it. I'm going to do it again closer because I bet that would come out better. See, it starts down here. Zip. That's the logo. That's this place's logo. It's called Carlisle Crossing. Another thing about it is it actually reminds me of the origins of the dollar sign. The dollar sign is something like a simplified version of the letters US, I think. Like the two vertical lines are the U with the curvy bottom part cut off, and then an S, US, which is kind of like that logo mark that almost every company now wants to have a logo mark like that. I'm not a designer, I'm just a sign painter, so I don't know about these things, about trends in graphic design. I leave that to the professionals. It's great, it lets me concentrate on painting, which is what I love. I am a painter. All right, here's another one that I painted. This one there's not a lot of room here. It had to fit exactly. It fit exactly. And I worked together on those with a big company called Triangle Sign, and it was really a thrill to work in conjunction with them this time. I've worked on other Younts projects that are like, I worked on other Younts projects where I would be doing painted portions, and they would come in and they would do install on like 3D signs, lit from within, those kinds of signs, shingles that stick out from the side of a building. But this one I got to work with together with them. Okay, I got to take a picture of this one. No, wait, I already got a picture. I'm going to take another one just for good measure. Yeah, I took a picture from way back there, back by the ramp, and I was just amazed at how a simple iPhone photo, I could zoom all the way in and still see myself. It was crazy. It was like going through the fourth dimension. The first dimension being like the way I saw it when I was standing there, and then the second dimension being zoomed right in on the column, showing the detail of the sign. And then the third dimension being the reflection of the sign right there. And then the fourth dimension being like me with my camera phone right over there. Trippy. And if anybody's wondering why I use a microphone like this, it's because I'm always in parking garages. Parking garages are now like 25, 15, 72, like a really high percentage of the work that I do, and it's a challenging audio environment. Like right there, I was coming out of a cement tube, a metro train was going by, an extra loud car, I don't know. This microphone seems to handle it all right. I'm not happy with it though. I have a whole other plan for the microphone that I wish I had have done. I just didn't know. I bought this one. This one makes a digital signal, so I can plug it directly into my action camera without an adapter. So it's a clean thing, That way I can really run and grab it. Ha ha! One camera, one mic. one cable. And overall, I'm happy with it, but I'm sure you're noticing that, like, the cable keeps tapping itself. I've got the cable kind of spooled up in my hands, and when it taps, it makes a little sound. It's audible on the video. Oh, and the wind. This is enough wind. This is probably too windy for my mic. Can you see how windy it is by looking at this tree? It's a little too windy for this microphone. Here's another one that I painted, and I'm going to tell you about the microphone, and then I'm going to snap this picture. As it turns out, here's what I should have done with the microphone. I should have bought the Shure, SXMVU2U, whatever, this adapter that goes onto a real mic cable. That does all the digital conversion. It weighs a little bit, so I would have to tape it to my tripod or my selfie stick, and it would make the camera heavier, which I'm not really excited about. But then I could use a real XLR cable, which they're better insulated. It wouldn't be banging around and making a bunch of clicking sounds. And I could use an SM58 microphone, like I was Jimi Hendrix or something, singing to you. All right, now here I am in the middle of their little public square area, I guess, at Carlisle Crossing, talking into a microphone like a total weirdo. But I wanted to give you kind of an idea of the setting. Even with busy season winding up, how do we dress? We dress like Thelonious Monk said. How do we dress? As sharp as possible. I always be wearing this hand-stenciled necktie and a shacket. A shacket is 50% shirt, 50% jacket, 50% awesome. Now I'm in the jungle, just kidding, I'm in Wegmans and I'm going to wrap up the video. This is where I've been getting lunch. I really like their hot bar. And yeah, I got to wrap this up before I get in there because the security guy is totally going to tell me to stop. You can't make videos in here, right? Bye. Please like and comment. Give me a comment. Give me something. Now I gotta try to get all of this stuff back into my van? How is this all gonna go back in there? It's gonna be like 10 pounds of sausage in a 5-pound pack of sausage. It's gonna be crazy. The sign on my van is actually vinyl. I gotta take that off and make it hand painted. Until recently, only like 2 people had ever called me out on that. One was like a guy just on the street in Brooklyn, Maryland, when I was painting a sign. Like some stumble bum stops, he pauses his drunken stumbles and gives me guff about the sign on my van. It really happened. That was, I think, the second guy. The first guy, I don't remember who was the first guy. Then more recently, Ronnie Younts from Younts Design, he called me out on it. Fair play. It is a little bit strange that I have vinyl on my van. Then I go to a kid's birthday party. With my kid, I have a kid, I'm not a creep. And a few of the people at the party realized they knew me from videos on Instagram. And that was nice. That was fun. It's fun to get recognition like that. One of the guys is like, well, no. In this case, the guy did not bring it up. I mentioned it. It was like, oh, you guys are talking about hand painting. I said, oh, was that you? Was that your van that I saw in the parking lot? Yeah. And I mentioned it. I was like, yeah, funny enough, it's actually vinyl on my van. And he said, yeah, I noticed that. That was a missed opportunity. Ouch. Anyway, back to it. I gotta get this stuff in the van. I gotta get going. I gotta get to my next job.